Hello again, Bond fans, and welcome to the Bond Bulletin YouTube channel. Out of the 24 James Bond films, every one of us probably has a secret favorite. The one film that stands out. There is one Bond fan from Argentina, who you might know from the GoldenEye dossier website. His name is Nicolás Suszczyk, and he's particularly fond of Bond number 17. And I will be speaking to him about all things GoldenEye and a certain book he is about to publish in just a few days. So please enjoy in conversation with Nicolás Suszczyk. Hola desde Alemania a Argentina y bienvenidos a Nicolás Suszczyk. Hello, Nicolás.
Hello, Benny. Hola a todos. Thanks for allowing me this opportunity to talk about my work on GoldenEye and James Bond.
Yes, and the reason we're doing this interview is we want to do a little promotion because you have written a book on GoldenEye.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the world of GoldenEye.
Yes.
It began. I would like to introduce it a little. It actually began with kind of a long article I was planning for the 25th anniversary, and then I was told about Amazon that they offer you to print books on demand for free. So I say, well, it's kind of a good opportunity to write my first book. It has been always in the back of my mind to write a book about Bond, and I think I saw many books on, for example, A View to a Kill or License to Kill and The Living Daylights, and they say, there are also the Her Majesty's Secret Service ones, so I say, why not GoldenEye, that it has a game and a legacy. Don't forget also the Ian Fleming telefilm with Charles Dance, which is also named GoldenEye. So.
Yeah. True.
We need kind of this sort of thing.
All of that is put into the. How many pages does it have?
So far, it's because the draft actually I'm revising it, but it's around 130 pages.
Okay, that's quite an achievement. When did you come up with the idea, and how long did it take you to actually start the writing process?
Well, actually, I was kind of planning the line out of the GoldenEye dossier for 2020 next year, which will be kind of reworked. It will be a huge improvement from the Blogspot site you knew, and everyone knew, of course. I was kind of writing articles or seeing how should I fill the sections. And then I was talking with a friend, you know, probably Jack Walter Christian, a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was thinking of writing a book on GoldenEye. Do you think people would like it? Because, you know, there's a huge fan base. And he told me, everyone will lick the pages. Everyone will love it, will buy it, and it will skyrocket.
Yeah.
It will be huge. So I said, let's start. And I did it the whole outline of the book, I did it in 1 month. From May the 4th, I think I was checking up the conversation, and I started on May the 4th. No, April the 4th. And I finished it almost in a month.
Okay, this year, in 1 month?
Yes, from April to May. I finished
a lot of the content that is actually in the book, you must have had that before, because how can somebody write a book in 1 month?
No, that's it. I mean, I had all the information stacked up.
Mm-hmm.
I have many references of books like James Chapman, you know, The License to Thrill, and The Making of GoldenEye by Garth Pierce. So, I mean, all the dialogues and the things to place in a book. I mean, things like that I have previously talked about. I mean, like talking about Phil Mayhew's cinematography and Martin Campbell's direction. I had kind of an outline of that, and well, I expanded those concepts. I made it kind of a huge and entertaining reading out of all of that, and well, that it took kind of a month to write, but I think I have achieved well. There are surprises in the book, so I tell this to everyone watching this video. Don't expect that you will find exactly the same things of previous articles. There are quite a few. There are many, and there is, I would say, it's kind of an essay of an analysis of the film. It's not kind of retelling the making of or the things you have read in many magazines. It's all kind of from here, things I watched in the film after many rewatches. For example, comparing the Cold War, the Second World War, the Lions Cossack background of Alec Trevelyan. I did some research, and well, I'm also talking about the fact of the betrayal that the whole film. There's kind of a minefield or a thread of betrayal that it's kind of linking every character. Bond Trevelyan betrays Bond. At the same time, there is the betrayal from the the Lion, Alec to the British, and well, even before, the British apparently betrayed the Lions Cossack, which is Trevelyan's claim. And well, you have Boris betraying Natalia. All of that is kind of explained and analyzed.
So you actually get historical background on what the dialogue gives us in the film, which is just a part of dialogue, and you wonder for years what he meant, and when you don't research it yourself, you have no idea about Lions Cossacks or whatever. So that is something that you can read in your book then.
Yes, the Lions Cossack research, I did it for an article I wrote to MI6 Confidential magazine in 2015, and well, I kind of that sunk in my head, so I even went back to read everything I prepared there, and I expanded that even because in the MI6 article I wrote like 2 or 3 paragraphs expanding what happened with the betrayal at Lions, sorry, and well, I kind of related those facts to Trevelyan claim, and well, there's the comment of Valentin Sukovsky, ruthless people. I investigated a little, and I know why he said those were ruthless people. And well, there are many other facts. There is World War II, and there's the 91 coup against Gorbachev that you briefly glimpsed in the movie Behind Them, when you can see the Oromov's dossier, that if you have an eagle eye, or if you freeze frame, you can see he worked with Gorbachev, and then he was part of the coup. So I investigated the reasons behind that, that historical event. And well,
let's have a look at that. I quickly throw in the picture of the 4K print of GoldenEye so people can see what we're talking about. And here you can see Urumov's file. How many times, roughly, have you seen GoldenEye?
Honestly, I think I lost the guy. Back in 1998, when I became a Bond fan after this movie, it was like I even wrote on a notebook. I watched GoldenEye 41 times, but now imagine from 20 years later, 21 years later, how do thousands? I stopped counting.
You lost count somewhere.
Yes.
And to remind people how great the film is and why we love it so much, there is a little clip I'd like to throw in for you, and maybe there are audiences watching who haven't seen GoldenEye yet.
Hey.
Would be surprising, but let's see that little clip here and see what GoldenEye is all about.
Kill him. Give me the cards, Natalia! Blow them all to hell!
Bond. Come back alive.
It's fantastic. Every time I watch it, it feels like the first time. You know, even it's on TV quite regularly lately. You know, this year there's a TV channel from Argentina that the channel premiered the Spectre like 1 month ago. So they were kind of rebroadcasting some of the old Bond films from Brosnan on. I mean, GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, the 4 Brosnan films and the 4 Craig films. So it's impossible not to watch GoldenEye.
It's impossible not to watch Bond at all. So.
Yes, exactly.
Back to the world of GoldenEye. Is there something in the book that people can expect to read about the behind-the-scenes process, about the making of, something we don't know anything about? Or is it maybe just about historical context of the film?
It's a little bit of both, because there's a section called GoldenEye and Filmmaking, a chapter. And, well, I don't think you'll find something extremely new, maybe. They are more or less common. A huge Bond fan will know probably most of what they'll find in that chapter. But, well, I kind of explain, I make kind of an analysis of the movie from a filmmaking point of view, like saying how Phil Mayhew and Terry Rawlings really made the film unique, how it is an improvement over, and I'm saying this with all respect, I love the John Glenn Bond films, A View to a Kill, License to Kill, The Living Daylights. I think Glenn, for example, did very good in bringing Bond back to his roots, but I often notice that Glenn's movies are kind of made for TV. In the cinematic aspect, I noticed that they are kind of common. They need kind of a polish to make them feel like movies you can watch on the big screen. And when GoldenEye came, you feel that it's a huge cinematic experience. I mean, the shots, the editing, all the acting, the sets. It's kind of huge improvement over like 10 years of kind of repetitive Bond films.
What do you say? How does GoldenEye compare to the later films, especially from the Daniel Craig era, in filmmaking aspects?
Well, I'm also analyzing that. I'm actually saying that there are many things in GoldenEye that inspired some of the Daniel Craig films. For example, in Skyfall, the explosive pen reference. There's also a shot, in Spectre, when the helicopter is falling and Bond recovers the fall. And well, there's a scene in the GoldenEye trailer where the helicopter does like a loop on the air. It was intended with the Tiger helicopter, but omitted from the film. And well, in Spectre, you can see that stunt pulled up.
So they reused ideas they didn't use before.
That's it. And well, also what I noticed story-wise is that I think sometimes many people say, well, that in the Daniel Craig era, we first see kind of the interior of Bond, the psychology of 007, but that happened in GoldenEye also. You mean you have a woman like Natalia that is questioning Bond's profession. You know, you have Vesper Lind and Madeline Swan in the Craig era that they talk about his job, that he could change, and well, Natalia was a present for that. So I think there's a connection. I don't think GoldenEye is a Bond movie you could omit. I mean, I think somehow they went back to GoldenEye to reference, to shape the Daniel Craig's Bond in a way, in a very slight way, but there is a way.
Yeah. Okay. And the book we can get how? I think the Kindle edition is already available for pre-order.
Yes, exactly. I was checking up the Amazon options, and I saw that they offered me to put the Kindle edition on pre-order. So I set it up. It will be released around June 8th. I mean, the date is actually, I placed June 8th because, you know, it's the 25th anniversary of Pierce Brosnan announcement as Bond. But the book might be available even before. When I played the Kindle edition, there are many people telling me, why is not the pre-order available for the paperback? And I tell them it's not yet ready, but whenever the manuscript is sent, and it will not be available just for pre-order. It will be kind of a buy it now, because it's unable to. I have not the option to make pre-order for paperbacks. I don't know why.
So you have many requests already for the book?
Yes. I was surprised that when I set up the pre-order and I announced through the GoldenEye dossier, I found kind of so far it's been 3 days and I got like 10 or 11, I think, pre-orders. So, I mean, it's perhaps, I don't know if it's a big or a small number, but I was quite happy to see that at least 10 people in the world are quite anxious for the book. And in forums, when I talk, they asked me about it. There are many that said, they are telling me, I'm not pre-ordering the Kindle, but take for granted that I will buy the paperback edition because I want to place it on my collection. I want to see it, and I understand that. And well, I'm in fact a collector of memorabilia. I'm not used to digital too much.
Yeah, you can put a few more requests on top of that because I get them here as well, because they know we are in contact, and they asked me, do you know something? Because I had the extract on the Bond Bulletin, the piece that you sent me, to get people interested into the book. And now they all ask, is it worth getting? Have you read it? Do you have a copy? If not, where can I get a copy? And nobody has ever asked, who is this guy? It's because they know you from the GoldenEye dossier. And I said, I don't know. I have no idea. I Skyped with him tonight, and then even then I won't tell you more because you have to wait for the video. That's why we're doing this interview. And one friend asked me, he is surprised because he heard somewhere that you put it together in a month. I hadn't heard it before you told me and before he told me, and he thought this is maybe just big fan love squeezed into a book, quickly written. But from what you've told us now about historical backgrounds and context and comparing and contrasting cinematography, I think it's a lot more than that, and it's a book worth having. So
I mean, I try to avoid the love for the film. Of course, you read some pages and you can know that the film, in fact, it's not written in first person. I'm not used to first person. I don't personally like it. Even in newspapers in America, film reviewers write, I like this movie, I didn't like it. I'm not used to that. I like, because I feel I'm kind of, I don't want to be more than the piece to review. I want to be kind of an outsider to review something. But well, the truth is that I mean I want to clarify. I'm currently unemployed, so I have many free time to do it, to revise it. So it's not like I did it in a month and it's just in 2 hours. I've been like 4 or 5 hours a day, even more sometimes. I have not like a schedule. I just do it right from the morning, and every time I can, I revise the book. But no, it's not a book like it's not just an appraisal of the film. It's more or less. I mean, I've also used, this has helped me a lot because John Gardner. This is the John Gardner novelization, as you might know. Expands. He was, a soldier. He knows the business of spying.
He does,
more or less like Ian Fleming. So I enjoyed his novelization, and he expands the political context. So I reference him a lot in the book, and taking out some of the background of Natalia, of Xenia, of Alec, and Oromov, I could kind of make an analysis and think and compare it to historical facts. And well, this is where I expanded on the book, where that is how I made it a rich and interesting reading. It's not like a copy paste and a few words. I mean,
now,
there are a lot
obviously
of
you compile something like that from notes.
Naturally.
You keep notes and keep, as you said, it stacks up the information that you have, and that just has to be bundled into the final draft that you have. And this, I don't find it strange that it just takes a month, because everything is pre-prepared. The information is already there.
I also watched a couple of 90s films, like, there's GoldenEye has, of course, it introduced internet in the James Bond series, and you have a character like Natalia Simeonova, and Boris Grishenko. They are both computer programmers. It introduced hacking into,
Yes.
Nowadays we talk about a website hacked. Even the Eon Productions has, regrettably, while Sony suffered the hacking of the Spectre screenplay. And now, GoldenEye shows you computers and hacking as something that an expert has to do. And well, in Casino Royale, you see Bond handling a computer and hacking on M's website. So there's a lot of analysis and references to the 90s. For example, you see movies like The Net with Sandra Bullock, or Hackers with Johnny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie, where there are female characters that are computer wizards, and Natalia is kind of a homage to those characters.
Yeah, true.
Yes, and of course I have an off-the-record source a very important man in the production of the film, which I can't reveal his name, but he has helped me a lot on many articles. But well, I kept his notes because of course, when I wrote the MI6 confidential article, I contacted him and asked him, this is, I read that this on this site or in this book, this was like that, or they got the facts wrong. And he clarified me how the process of the film was, of some settings and characters and the dynamics with Bond and many things. So I think the information you'll find is kind of, it's trustworthy.
That's good. And I just see our timer has gone to 007, and this is a first, because you are the first person to experience what happens when this timer goes to 007 seconds. So congratulations. This is a game timer. So from time to time, with people that I Skype, I will throw in a game just to have fun element, you know. And what we're playing today is, what is it? It's Kiss and Kill.
Wow.
So I will give you two Bond girls, and you have to decide which one becomes your love interest, your personal love interest, and the other one has to go, and she has to really go. That's why it's called Kiss and Kill. So you today, Nicolás, you have the choice between everybody's favorite Electra King and Fiona Volpe. Both very bad girls, and you have to decide who to kiss and who to kill.
It's quite complicated because I have a crush for them both, but I think
That's a pity.
I keep Electra King because, you know, I love Sophie Marceau. I mean, not only in The World Is Not Enough, which, of course, I tell everyone, GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough is my religion. Those three films, if my house was on fire, I would take those three films. And, well, I began interested on Sophie Marceau's career. I watched many of the Anthony Zimmer and Tout ne veut pas, a French film. So I found her bubbly. Of course, in The World Is Not Enough, she was a villain and she was very evil. But I think she's sexy, she's alluring, she's now she's adorable. So I have to keep. My heart asked me to keep Electra King, and
So-
well, I hope I could have some fun with Fiona Volpe because before she has to go.
Well, she already went. So
Oh.
that's Kiss and Kill. So you decided Electra King. Poor Luciana Paluzzi, she has to go.
Yes,
I actually saw her in a couple of Euro spy movies. Some of them are just Italian-speaking roles, some were non-speaking roles, but what is always persistent is she is a stunning looker.
Yes.
It draws your eye towards her. I mean, it's obviously, when I spoke to her in Oslo, it's the red hair, it's the accent when she has a speaking part, and later she had many. And of course, Electra King, alluring, as you said, but also there is the accent.
Yes.
French undertone accent, which makes it really sexy and erotic. So I'm also a big fan of Sophie Marceau. I probably would have also decided, well, maybe I would have killed Electra King. I don't know. Because she's pretty evil. She's pretty evil. So is Luciana Paluzzi, but as Fiona Volpe, but I don't know. I think I could have turned her.
Yes.
I
Yes,
don't
you know.
Electra King is a difficult character to turn.
Right.
But
With-
great choice. Wonderful.
Don't forget, she is quite the kind of not the first woman to kind of cheat Bond, but it's the first that she plays a victim during more than the half of the film, and then when he's kind of dumbstruck when he learns about her betrayal and that she was behind it all. So I think Bond was attracted to her emotionally, so it's not unusual.
I loved just how the police car sounded, like the opening in Bilbao.
Oh yes.
To notice, it's great. Just a great throw in, an additional extra. That's really great. Yeah. GoldenEye was much more. It had a dramatic darkness about this Russian theme, also with Statue Park, where you see the fallen heroes of Russia, as they called them.
Well, there's another point in the book that I think you could glimpse it in the extract I sent you, that there's kind of a symbolism, you know, that the ideologies are over. You know, Trevelyan wants revenge, but he's also after the money. And well, Bond and Urumov are kind of the most patriotic characters in the story. You know, for example, you have Urumov. He may be a villain, but he's a son of the Soviet Union, a son of Mother Russia. So in a way, Bond and Euromove are kind of similar characters in deep inside.
True.
And Trevelyan is the one who understands the game from the top. Who sees them like fighting for idea. Well, you can see it on John Gardner's novel where, well, you have them like trust is now gone, patriotism doesn't exist anymore, things like that you can see in the novelization that, of course, I kind of analyzed in my book.
Okay. Very much looking forward to your book, to reading it. It will be available in English and Spanish, I understood. So
Spanish coming by the end of the year, I think. As soon as this is gone to the printing press, I start to translate it.
Okay, so I will be really interested in reading it. I will, of course, get my copy and hope everybody who watches the video and is interested in not only GoldenEye, but the whole Bond franchise should get the book and definitely check out Nicolás' website. New update coming in 2020, correct? So can you give us the current address where we can see something?
Yes, it's goldeneyedossier.blogspot.com, the same address, and I'll redirect that address to the new site.
Yeah, great.
So far, I can't afford a kind of a premium goldeneyedossier.com site, so it will be redirected from Blogspot to the new site.
Yeah, okay, great. I will have the address put here into the video, so everybody who wants to visit Nicolás and his GoldenEye dossier website, please do. It's a great website. I've been following it for many years, and it's been around longer than my website. So that's worth something.
Yes,
2011, right? You started GoldenEye dossier. See, and I was like a year later, or even 2 years later, until I really had content, but did the same move. I switched to a .com address because this Blogspot thing, it got on my nerves, editing and moving things around. It was, in the launch video, I said unprofessional, but a .com address gives you a lot more, and this WordPress thing, I shied away from it at first, but it really makes things a lot easier. So
yes,
that's
I
a
agree.
great thing. So another thing to look forward to, your new website coming in 2020. Nicolás, thank you for talking to me. It was a great chat we had. And
Vielen Dank.
Oh, thank you. You speak German. Wonderful. I forgot the Spanish. I think it's what is it? It's not arrivederci. That's Italian. My Spanish left me.
It's muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Of course. That's thank you. But what's goodbye?
Well, in Argentina we say ciao.
Ciao, like in Italy.
It's
okay.
similar.
It's written different.
Written differently, right?
C-H-A-O.
With you at the end.
Okay.
Ciao.
So, thank you. Muchas gracias, Nicolás. And ciao to Argentina.
Ciao.